This game that I'm looking at today is from Paper Wars, called Finnish Civil War. And I believe this was set in 1918. It's a game designed by Brian Train. I've played some of his games before. One was a micro design group game or a conflict game. I forget what it was called. The company was called. It was Con Armia. And I've played Reichswehr, Free Corps, and I think that was an S&T magazine. Anyway, this game plays, each turn represents roughly a week. The hexes are like 12 miles, and the game is mainly centered around capturing cities and villages for the morale value. The whites kind of control the country. The reds are, the insurgents at that time. There are special rules, or chrome, or whatever you'd like to call it, that show the effects of guerrillas, for example. There's a counter for Mannerheim, and it has some special effects, including shock ability. There are assets like armored trains and artillery that can be attached to a group of small units. There is a random events chart, as well as a political effect chart that is consulted that will lead to outside events that really the whites need to happen if they're going to be successful. Anyway, I like the game fairly well. So I'm going to just show a few pictures of it with a small amount of commentary on what you're seeing in the pictures and maybe how the game ended. But I hope you enjoy this. So in the early stages of the game here, you can see that the Red Guard has conquered Varkas, and the White Guard is at Piiksamaki. And these are very small units. You can see their companies. Also, there's, in the photograph, the G5 unit, which is a guerrilla unit. It really doesn't do a lot in combat, but it is more used as a roadblock or for things like that. Also, in the bottom of the picture, you can see the Finnish National Army headquarters. It also could be noted in this picture the importance of railroads. Not only do they facilitate movement, but they also are required to maintain supply, so as not to have supply penalties during combat. In this next picture, you can see the Finnish National Army is defending Mikkeli with an infantry company, but you can also see an asset in there underneath. It's an artillery asset. And yet this area is being focused on by the Reds coming in from the south. In this picture, you can see how the Finnish National Army's battalion, the 434 unit, which is in the light blue, in the village is nearly cut off. It's not cut off, but it's very close. And you'll see the Reds are attacking with a fairly strong force with an armored train asset. So this village could fall fairly easily. In the next picture, you see the Finnish white troops are starting to fall apart here. This is in the eastern part of the map. What's been going on behind the scenes here each turn? There is the use of a table as a phase for it called Peace Talks, German Intervention, and Russian Withdrawal. And this table is managed by rolling 2d6, and each side does this, and we subtract the red roll from the white, and if the result is a positive number, it's cumulative, and we keep track, and there are certain trigger points which will bring in reinforcements, but also, more importantly, German intervention and even the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. So these are some things that need to happen for the white player to succeed. They need that political push. So, so far, there's been no luck on this table. We're not getting any positive numbers in the die roll, so it is stuck. In this next picture, you can see the Reds have made significant progress here on the northeastern part of the map. And you can see the locations that are occupied by the Whites are villages. And the burden of attack here is on the Whites. The Red Army controls most of the cities. So the Finnish Whites need to attack. So this right here, this is the last picture showing the end of the game, and I'll just say that this ended with a Red victory. The Whites did capture this one city, Tampere. You can see the Mannerheim counter in that. Probably the main thing that happened in this playthrough of the game that contributed to the Whites' defeat is the lack of progress on the peace talks table. They really never got the degree of German support units that they needed, as well as the opportunity to implement the effects of the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. But none of that happened in this game. The die rolls just were not favorable. And so the political aspect kind of hampered the white player from having a chance at victory. Anyway, it was a fun game.